If you're anything like me, then you grew up watching Mythbusters. And in this video, I'm going to be busting some myths in the music production world. So let's go through some myths, and then when I get to the last one, leave a comment and let me know if you would disagree or agree with any of these myths that I busted. So myth number one that I want to bust is that getting into music production is prohibitively expensive. Now, back in the day, this was definitely true because you would need a tape machine, a big studio, tons of expensive microphones just to record a band. But now we have access to lots of high fidelity audio gear at an affordable price. That doesn't mean that expensive gear doesn't sound good, because obviously it usually does, but there's lots of affordable gear that you can use to make high quality recordings. So while it would be expensive to go on Sweetwater, fill your cart with every single piece of studio gear that you want, and just buy it all at once, you can usually make do by buying some more affordable gear, some nice gear that's used, and just piecing together a great studio of actual affordable gear. That will definitely allow you to get started and start learning without buying tons and tons of pricey gear, and you can always upgrade later. So myth number one, I'm gonna call it busted. Now, myth number two is that you have to have hit songs to make a living in audio. While it certainly helps to have hit songs, and I wouldn't say no to having a couple hits of my own, you don't need to have a top 40 hit to make money in music production. There's this misconception that every single producer is just dead broke until they have a hit or two, and then all of a sudden you're just booked solid for the rest of your life and can just buy whatever you want. But the fact of the matter is, you can make a steady income in music without having a bunch of hit songs. And nowadays, having one hit song under your belt as a producer doesn't mean that you can just retire. So, because there are lots of ways to make a good living as a producer without having a hit, I'm gonna go ahead and call myth number two busted. Myth number three is that you have to go to audio engineering school to be a producer. If you believed every ad that you saw online, you would be moving to a major city to start attending a recording arts degree program. However, I know tons and tons and tons of music producers and engineers who didn't go to a single day of music production college. I personally have never gone to school for anything music related, and I was actually going for my political science degree before I stopped going to school because I got too busy working on music. There are so many resources that can help you get started and start learning music production without going to school, so I'm gonna call myth number three busted. Now, on the flip side, myth number four is that going to music production school is completely worthless. While there are people who think that you have to go to music school to be a producer, on the flip side, there are lots of people who have started this counter movement of calling every type of music school just a scam and a waste of time and money. However, I know tons and tons of producers and engineers who did go to audio school, got their recording arts degree, and don't regret it at all. Going to school for a recording arts degree is a lot like going to school for any other degree. You can get out of it what you put into it. So if you work hard and you put a lot of time in at the studio, you can learn a lot, and it can really be a crash course that can set you on the right path to having a great career in music. If you slack off, don't network, don't do your assignments, and basically don't put any effort, then yeah, you're wasting your time and money, but that's true of pretty much any type of school. And if you want to get hired in a commercial studio, or you want to work in film audio or video game audio, then it does not hurt to have a recording arts degree. So I'm going to call myth number four busted. While you don't need a recording arts degree to be a music producer, it's definitely not going to hurt you. Now, myth number five that I want to bust is that you have to move to LA or Nashville or New York City to have a career in music. If you spend any time in any local music scene, then you're going to talk to so many people who are saving up to move to one of these big music cities because apparently you just simply cannot make it if you don't live there. And honestly, those people do have a point, because there are certain projects that you just aren't going to land unless you live in proximity to the artist that you'd be working with. However, the industry is moving more and more digital, and there are just more projects that are being worked on in the cloud. Yes, it doesn't necessarily hurt to live in a big music city, but if you can't afford it, I would not suggest just packing up and moving and roughing it in one of these cities with your mic, your interface, and your laptop. Just because you move there doesn't mean you're going to start getting work right away. You're going to have to put in the hours just like everyone else, and it definitely helps to move there with a portfolio and with some songs that you've already worked on that you can show people. So myth number 5 sort of busted, because yes, it can totally help you to live in these cities, but no, you don't have to do it. And myth number 6 is that music production is just easy now thanks to tools like Splice and Auto-Tune. Yes, there is access to more and more great samples and great plugins than ever. However, downloading a bunch of sample packs and just layering samples one on top of each other does not make it a production. For now, AI tools and subscription services can only get you so far. You'll still need to put in the effort to learn your DAW, to get good at producing things from scratch, and to not take shortcuts to getting to a finished song. For one, a lot of libraries will not try to place your music in TV or film if you've used splice loops, because at the end of the day, how can you own a song if it's just made up of loops from other people? So if you want to get your songs anywhere near TV or film, you're going to have to own them completely, and that means coming up with your own original melodies. Just like the introduction of power tools has technically made it easier to build yourself a table, that doesn't mean that everyone who buys a drill is now a contractor. So I'm gonna call myth number 6 busted. Now this video was super fun for me. I loved getting to be a Mythbuster, even if it was just for a few minutes. So if you like this video, then go ahead and hit subscribe, because I've got more music production videos coming every week. And then check out this video here where I take you through my productivity system to get more done as a producer.